W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we like and an L to the things that we do not. All right, let's start off with my dubs. First dub has to go to potentially starting Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord. Bro got an AMG Benzo from Mark Wahlberg himself.
Oh!
From Mark Wahlberg himself. Mr.
I work at
Boston
Wahlburgers.
said, here, bro, take this Benzo.
Yeah,
Take this AMG
it wasn't a
Mercedes
gift.
Benz.
It was probably incentive to market Wahlburgers here in Columbus, and their various businesses. Yeah, the car
dealership.
Yeah,
doesn't matter, bro. He said, here, bro. Here's this AMG Mercedes Benz.
Congratulations, Kyle. That's
you can drive the team to the championship in this.
You won't be able to do it on the field, so yeah, let's see if we can do it in the AMG.
You can drive your team to the championship.
You definitely won't be doing it on the field. So, yeah, let's see if we can get it done with the AMG.
After you make the national championship winning drive, you can drive home in this AMG Mercedes Benz.
Y'all are going to have to put out a state of emergency in Ohio for Columbus after they go 10-2. I'm serious.
So we talk a lot, mostly negatively, about Fresh and Fit, rightfully so.
Did you steal one of my takes? Go ahead, finish up.
There is a Fresh and Fit economy.
You son of a bitch.
That is born out of
son of a bitch.
Not only the hosts of the show, very obviously, and the listeners who come to watch their ridiculous takes and them kicking women off. But speaking of kicking women off, that seems to work pretty well for the women on the show as well.
These audiences of these red pill guys are everything people say about them. They are
so hypocritical.
They are literally the definition of keyboard warrior, sitting in your mom's basement, no aspirations other than COD, Cheetos, and Red Bull. Like, I guess it's not surprising because the mechanics of the said sub economy of Fresh and Fit makes sense.
Yeah.
But damn, I just feel like, what type of person do you have to be? Let's explain what's going on here. I guess we're both talking like we already know what we're talking about. So the girls that go on Fresh and Fit, right? You often hear people say, why are they engaging? Talking about Fresh and Fit, why are they talking about all this relationshipy type stuff with club girls? Like girls who just trying to be out here doing whatever,
or Instagram
models or Fashion Nova models, whatever. Mm-hmm. You sit over here having these like deep discussions about marriage and relationships and things like that with people who you don't really want to engage with. You just want to have a soundboard to bounce off of. You know what I mean? To make yourself seem smarter, because you're not bringing married women in here to have these discussions, obviously. And then conversely, why would these women sign up to come on this show and be made to look dumb? You know why? Because they all have OnlyFans. And the sad, sickening truth about the sycophants that still cling to Fresh and Fit is that y'all will listen to these men drag these women through the mud, devalue them. I can't even say devalue them to you because you didn't value them in the first place. Treat them as the frivolous accessories that they are in your mind, right? And so at the end of that, you say, yeah, Fresh and Fit were right. They won that argument. They said everything's so good, man. Don't listen to these whores, you know? These whores, they're the problem with society, is their degeneracy. Oh, we'll get the degeneracy later. What's up, Sneako? And their degeneracy is the problem. And then you know what they do? They log off of YouTube and go straight to OnlyFans and they subscribe.
Droves.
And they subscribe.
In droves of, according to this one model, 1,200 in one night.
So, I mean, shit, 1,200 people in the chat, that's a good night. Even for a channel the size of Fresh and Fit. Right? That's a really good night. You're telling me that 1,200 people specifically right after after the post of that OnlyFans. I guess you can't say all of them came from there, but I mean, you recognize the influx if you read data on any of your YouTube channels or anything like that.
Analytics are definitely there.
Analytics are there, right? It's not a guarantee, but it certainly is suggestive that 1,200 of y'all went and subscribed to her. So let's watch these morons drag her through the mud like she ain't worth shit. And then I'm going to go in the corner and jack off to her later.
You mean to tell me she made 12 to 24 bands in one night?
No. Okay, so let's do this math, right?
$10.
1,200 people. Let's say she's doing
$10
10 to 20. Okay, so was that $120,000?
No, $12,000.
It's 12,000.
Yeah, 1,200. So times 10.
1,200.
1,200 times 10 would be 12,000.
Oh, if she's paying $10. Okay, $12,000. Okay.
$10 or $20. I would assume.
Okay.
So
$12,000 in a day.
24 bands in one night?
Well, no, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there.
That's just the one
now
night.
we got to take that 12,000 and times it by 12 because it's a monthly subscription.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
So now we're probably up in the hundreds of thousands.
For a year? Yeah. Yes.
Off of you though, off of an appearance on Fresh and Fit where the chatters are dogging her in the chat on Fresh and Fit, and they immediately log off and then go sign up for a jack-off fest.
Yep. Yeah, she got kicked off, but she was kind of hot. Let's see if she has the OnlyFans.
Yeah, literally, bro. Literally. That y'all think y'all doing it in private. You think ain't nobody see it. So you're going right back to find your next OnlyFans girl on their show. Maybe that's the main draw of Fresh and Fit. It can't be the financial advice.
No.
It can't be the credibility. It can't be the integrity of the channel.
No.
I mean, they've been proven to be fraudulent on multiple accounts. So it's not the integrity. Is Fresh and Fit literally a porn farm? Is it a chattel porn farm where you go to purchase your next porn star? That's what it is. That's why I understand it now, y'all. Y'all no longer have to explain it to me. You no longer have to break it down. You don't have to fill our comments with bullshit about how they built your confidence and told you how to save your money. There's at least one family member you can go to for that. Save me. Save me. I get it now. Fresh and Fit is literally a chattel porn farm where we're going to bring these women on, and you'll probably get off to the fact that we're degrading them and treating them like they're not, worth our time or worth exploring their thought processes or anything like that, or their opinions. No, man, they're here to be yelled at so you can have that in your mind when you're jacking off to them later. It's a double whammy, bro.
Yeah.
Double whammy, bro.
Yeah, the sales funnel is crazy with this one.
It makes so much sense.
It
really makes so much sense to why someone whose credibility has been proven to be false so many times over, they're able to still profit because it's never really about the actual content. It's the content between the content.
Now, I will raise this question. So we found out that Fresh, we found out that both of them at one point have been on sugar baby sites. Mm-hmm. But that was such a controversy. But then the followers themselves are also on OnlyFans, spending
so they understand
tons of money.
They get it. They get it. They understand. Bro, I be in these chats talking about how, modern women don't want to be wives and mothers anymore. But then I be jacking off to them women in the silent, bro. We the same. You be talking about don't spend money on vagina and then you buy them on baby sites.
Yeah.
We the same, bro.
That's the same person.
We a community.
Yeah, bro. You just dropped $100 tip in her OnlyFans, bro. You the same person.
Come on, bro.
Only difference is Fresh and Fit are hitting.
Well, maybe. Possibly.
At least once.
Presumably.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But you not hitting. But hey, you get what you want out of it though.
Oh, they hitting, all right. They hitting. They punching. They chopping away, boy. Boys tearing down redwoods.
Oh man, you've been spending too much time in our live stream chats apparently. Them shits is nuts.
Oh my God, man.
Scrussy. I'm not even going to go down that path. Anyway, my next L is going to none other Then one of the stars of the Boondocks season 2, the Booty Warrior.
Fleece Johnson has made a return. I did see that.
He has. And supposedly hated the way he was depicted on the Boondocks. Yet it was probably the most accurate depiction I've seen on at least the Boondocks.
Did you watch the whole interview though?
I have. I remember there were other clips.
So yeah, he has a problem with the way the Boondocks depicted him, right? But then at the end, they're talking to the man, and he really just kind of lets his institutionalization show, and he's like, but like I'm really not trying to make light of it because it's kind of sad.
Oh yeah,
because bro got locked up at 16 years old and was in an adult prison until he got out, and so like without speculating too far, I would imagine that some of the evil that he handed out eventually when he became the predator was maybe handed to him when he was the prey. At 16, you walk into a grown man prison. I don't know. It ain't a 16-year-old on the planet that's going to come out of that unchanged.
Sure.
So then he's talking, and he like, yeah, the thing I miss about prison the most is booty. Yeah, I'm married, and I tell my wife, I love you, baby. I love you to death, but I miss butt. And she don't like the butt. So, I just go without. I hope you're going without, Fleece. I hope you're going without.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to the man talk, and it's just like, yeah, man, I really miss ass. I miss getting ass. As funny as that sounds initially, the man has been like programmed and conditioned into that lifestyle.
Broken.
So like he doesn't even realize the irony of hating that a cartoon portrayed him that way in the same conversation of him talking about how much he misses ass.
Yeah. Using a lot of the same quotes that you literally gave in the interview, the original interview.
I mean, it's kind of sad. But glad he's out and he's married and, got a family, so.
Yeah. The impersonation of you was still spot on, bro. I don't know what to tell you on that front.
I mean, like, literally, as you telling us that you're upset, you are giving us more material to make another Boondocks episode.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Let's move on from that. Anyway, Adam 22 has taken his relationship with a girl who would otherwise probably be on Fresh and Fit to another level and has married her.
Oh, they're recently married. So, like, this isn't like a long-time relationship.
No, they literally just got married within the last couple weeks.
Okay.
Now, I'm actually also giving an L to the backlash that he's receiving for the simple fact that, like, what did you expect? Like, he's been in a relationship with this girl for years. She's been doing what she's been doing for years.
Oh, so he has been with her. They've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been with her for quite a while. She's been doing prawn for quite a while.
Well, okay.
They've been doing it together for quite a while.
My what did you expect thing isn't even the fact that he's been with her. The man deals in Black Death. That is his forte. That is the expertise of his podcast. Mm-hmm. Black violence, Black death, Black controversy. That's
gang violence.
That is it. That's the model.
Yeah.
So like anybody who peddles in that type of filth, I don't think is capable of having a wholesome, or let me throw wholesome out of there. I hate the whole idea of correctness or politeness, whatever. A functional and healthy relationship with another human being, let alone someone who does what she does for work, right? Being a porn star does not exclude you from having boundaries. Like, when did her work become collaborative with you? So now, like, if you're telling me that they have a porn business,
they do stuff for her OnlyFans quite a bit.
Oh man,
from what I'm being told. I wouldn't.
So
watch that
what?
shit.
Like he's her OnlyFans manager, and he married her or something?
No, well, in a way, yeah, he probably is her manager because I'm sure publicity from the show also.
There's no
aids in her.
possible way that this can go wrong.
But no. He has sex with her on her OnlyFans.
Oh, so he's featured on the OnlyFans too. He's a porn star. They're both porn stars.
I think part of the issue is that he only does it on her. Like the only scenes that he does is with her, and so now she's
and
doing
he
scenes
allowed
with
her.
other people.
Okay, yeah. Again, man, they're married porn couples. I'd assume. I don't think. Again, your job precludes you from having boundaries. And so like, even if y'all do that type of stuff, y'all swing, you're polyamorous, that kind of thing. It seems more so since you're unveiling shit like this on Twitter. That it's just more of a commodity than it is a part of your guys' relationship.
Yeah.
It's a marketing thing.
You mean the wedding?
No, my wife just had sex with another man and I'm totally fine with it and it's fine. Like even
that's
saying
definitely...
that out loud, you can feel the controversy building. You know what that shit is going to play like on the internet.
Made multiple videos on this. And she obviously has the scene on OnlyFans, which I'm sure people are buying because of the spectacle.
Content.
Yeah,
this is content.
Absolutely.
I better not ever hear this man say anything about a simp ever again. Ever again.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact that he peddles in black violence. He peddles nothing but black negativity. Mm-hmm. He got a pimp on there. He's got, he obviously talks to drug addicts and stuff like that. Like. He
talks to teenagers about their beefs. He talks to teenagers about violence that they have had perpetrated against them and violence they would like to perpetrate against others and all type of conflicts over the internet so that conflict then boils over. They get shot or killed or arrested and he gets to make more content about it.
He's got LA Bloods and Crips all over his podcast. He's got a pimp on there. He's got literally everything you could want as far as black negativity. So, that's his game. That's how he deals with it. Anyway, let's stop talking about Adam 22.
All right, here we go. Let's start out with the positivity. The early reactions from Mission Impossible 7 are everything I thought they were going to be.
Amazing.
And I'm going to make a prediction right here and now. Not only do I think this movie is going to personally please me than my number one movie of the year so far, which is John Wick 4. So I'm thinking it's going to be better. So expect a higher score. That's what I'm banking on right now. I think it's going to make a lot more money than even John Wick 4 did. I think we are cruising well past $1 billion with this one. The only thing I was looking for, since there was that little bit of a snafu with the, the amount of IMAX theaters that it's going to get and things like that compared to Oppenheimer, I thought that maybe this was a anti-Tom Cruise kind of push, and they would maybe try to dampen the fire on some of the energy around Mission Impossible right now. Because to be quite honest with you, and I don't think this is a marketing spin thing from the studio, I just do not see a lot of Mission Impossible advertisement.
I don't either.
But
when is it coming out?
July, right after the 4th, July 12th.
July 12th?
Yeah, I believe.
That's probably not good.
But in any case, I'm not seeing a whole lot of that in the critic reaction. I think it's going to have a strong critical hold. I think it's going to have great legs with the audience. Obviously, it's an established IP, a trusted IP, one that hasn't shat all over their history. Those are my predictions for Mission Impossible 7. Not only do I think I'll probably score it higher without even seeing it yet than John Wick, I think it's going to make a lot more money.
It does come out on July 12th. I just confirmed it. Make more money than John Wick? Yes. John Wick only made 400 and something million, which compared to his budget is great, but I there's room for growth.
I mean, this movie is going to more than double John Wick's output.
There's certainly room for that. Mm-hmm. Which if so, especially given the budget, which I think Mission Impossible will probably have a bigger budget. Will still be a knockout for
it. Wait, Is that 400 million worldwide? John Wick 4 did?
400, I think it was 432.
Huh.
John Wick Chapter 4, 432.4 million
worldwide. Okay. Yeah. No, they're dubbing that.
But
they're dubbing
on $100 million budget.
No. It didn't take shit to make that movie.
Yeah.
Like comparatively to some of its counterparts, it didn't take shit to make that movie.
290 million so far, or 290 million for the budget for Mission Impossible.
Yeah, much more money.
And if it does double, that's still a knockout the park for Paramount.
I think we're getting over Paramount, Billy with this one. I think you're gonna have basically a Top Gun Maverick Part 2.
That's crazy.
And back-to-back summers, I think Tom Cruise is gonna take it home.
If Tom Cruise can do that, how can you not say he's one of the greatest actors
Man's in his 50s, y'all. Still the best action star we got.
Compare this, that sort of performance to movies where there's literally 10 to 12 of these action stars. Mm-hmm. Schwarzenegger, Stallone, fucking Terry
and most
Crews,
of those guys are
Bruce
from
Willis.
a begotten age, right? Like they're doing.
But the Expendables didn't do
rom-com stuff. They're doing weekly TV shows. Like Tom Cruise is still there.
But the Expendables never did anything like that.
Yeah, number-wise, no.
Yeah.
No. But I do think the Expendables have somewhat of a cultish following that keeps them going.
For sure.
But see, they don't try to be anything that they're not either.
That's true. But to be one action star doing it and being older.
Compared to 7. Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
All right, next dub is going out to Spider-Verse. More movie numbers news. Spider-Verse has crossed 600 million worldwide.
It's really good.
It is really good.
I'm upset that it's not going to probably hit the billion, but
yeah,
it's really good for
it's still in theaters. I know Indy is not going to be pulling anything from it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Some of the other children's movies, I don't think. I mean, my son wanted to see Elemental, but it really has the kids market right now. Little Mermaid didn't do what it expected it to do. I don't think Elemental is really going to outfight it that much,
especially with the kids.
It's got maybe 800 million, maybe.
I can see that. And again, that's another movie that $100 million budget.
They would need to extend the window a couple of weeks, I think, but. What else for children's movies is coming out that you would run up to and be like, nah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to spend the money because we know we'll lose. There's nothing else. There's nothing else out there.
Yeah.
Spend the money, Sony.
I've seen the movie. We both saw it on opening week.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen it since then, but I'd go see it again.
I've seen it twice. So we've seen it that Thursday. It premiered. And then the following weekend, we went and seen it at the drive-in.
Especially knowing what I know now about the different variations of the film going out to different theaters. I'd see it again. I'd definitely see it again. So,
all right, here we go. Let's get to the negativity. On to my L's. First L is going out to Indy 5. So spoiler alert for everyone who has not seen Indiana Jones 5.
Did I just see you spoiler alert and then
spoiler alert?
That's crazy.
So I'm not a hack. And even though I saw Indiana Jones 5 last night, I cannot in good faith give you a review. But the reason why I can't give you a review is probably also a review of the movie. I can't give you an honest review of the movie because I missed most of the third act sleeping. I absolutely hate sleeping in movies because I can never tell. You know, I got 2 kids now, so it very well may be that I was just pooped. But I was up and ready to watch the movie. We would have stayed until like 3 because we were going to go see Transformers last night too, but it started raining, so I couldn't see the encore showing of Transformers. But I mean, I had planned to be there all night, you know, so I don't know. It is what it is. The first 30, 35 minutes or so are pretty dope. Pretty classic Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones type stuff. And then, like, the movie slowly but surely starts changing main characters a little bit. And then I know that there's a large portion of the indie fan base that did not like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And even more than that, did not like the addition to the indie lore of Mud being Indy's son, you know, played by Shia LaBeouf, and how all that turned out. The way that they chose to edit it or retcon it or fix it in this movie was some of the most morbid shit I've ever heard of in a Disney movie. It is only second to basically marketing a man's death to sell a movie with T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman. Spoiler alert again. Indy has a son, Mud. During a conversation with Wombat, Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, or Helena, he calls her Wombat.
I'm about to say her name is not Wombat.
I mean, that's her nickname. He calls her Wombat throughout the movie.
Fair enough.
Because that's his goddaughter. He talks about Mud joining the army. And then Helena asks, oh, well, you know, if you could go back before he enlisted, what would you tell him? You know what Indy says? Indy says, I would tell him you're going to die. I would tell him you're going to die and that your death breaks your mother, makes it so that I can't comfort her, ruins our marriage, leaves me alone. Oh, and by the way, before all of that conversation started, he only joined the army. Helena suggests that, oh, he joined the army to make you proud. And then Indy responds back, no, he did it to piss me off. So your son joined the army to piss you off, died, ruined your marriage. Thank you, Disney. This is such a feel-good movie for one of the greatest action heroes in American history, in world history. He's Indiana Jones, whose son joined the army to piss him off, end up dying, and ending the marriage with his wife. Because those are all things we love to see in Disney content and Lucasfilm. Love to see it. That family tragedy is definitely something I want to see in my Disney movies.
That just screams, yeah, fuck you guys for all that backlash over that last movie.
Oh, y'all want Mud no more? Watch what we do to him now. Literally. Oh, y'all don't want him no more? Ha ha. Hold my beer.
That's just extremely petty.
It's so extreme, yo. Why can't he just be in the army and he pissed off Indy by joining it? And Indy's worried about him. I really don't want him to be over there fighting. I'm worried about him. I'm concerned. I wish he was smarting up. He died and ruined your marriage?
That's too much, bro. What about the people who actually liked that movie?
I mean, look. I'm not gonna do what hacks do and tell you that this is the worst thing on screen. There are some endearing moments. There's some moments that I didn't care for. There's some moments that just doesn't make sense. But the through line that stayed from the point that Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character showed up to the final scene where somebody grabs the hat. The general idea is that what I got from the movie. The general idea is that Indy can't do this no more. No matter how hard he tries, no matter what he puts into it, no matter how much heart he has left, sometimes you just need to realize when it's over and accept that and be happy with the things that you have left.
What is
that is the feeling that I got from Indiana Jones, which once again, irony seems to be the theme of the pod today. Imagine being the producer who wants to put to rest the greatest action hero in history, arguably one of the greatest action heroes in history, put him to rest, hand it off to Phoebe Waller-Bridge, makes one of the worst Indiana Jones. Well, no, probably the worst. One of the worst action films we've seen in a while. And that's in continuance of her sliding product that she's made at Lucasfilm since she's taken over. Babe, you're the one that needs to hang it up. Not the story you wrote for Indy. Not the story you helped produce, i.e. put James Mangold's name and face over it and went to work. You are the one that needs to go, babe. It's not it's not Indy. I mean, shit, you deep faked him for a good portion of the movie anyways. Would it hurt you to do it again so that we can see our guy go out like a hero? Would it kill you to let him have any of those moments in the dialogue throughout the movie where it was a callback to something that we felt in one of the old Indiana Jones films, but then you step all over it with slapstick comedy? Or you step all over it with some like old man moment with him falling over himself or almost getting hit by a car or whatever. Would it kill you to just let the fans of the old Indiana Jones have that? And again, first 30 minutes of the movie, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. I will not lie to you. I will not fake you. If you want to go for enjoyment of Indiana Jones, the Indiana Jones that you remember, the first 35 minutes are your sweet spot. In my opinion, everything after that, I don't know why they put this out.
You sure you saw Indiana Jones and not Gran Torino Jones?
I mean, that's what it felt like. It felt like Gran Torino. It felt like an angry old man hanging on to years past, time that he can't get back. And even at the point where you feel like he's going to have this like heroic or come full circle moment, it literally gets ripped out of him, smacked right out of his face. Literally. There was an interesting black female character in the first act of this movie. Unfortunately, she didn't. Well, anyways, you'll see. Nazis and whatnot. But yeah. So that's Indy 5.
I'm looking at my notes like I got another one coming up.
Again, that is not an official review. I'm not giving it a score.
I'm gonna cut that out and make a.
I'm just trying to give you what I could remember from the 3-hour experience that was Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny.
You didn't have a full 3-hour experience.
I had a 2-hour and 40-minute experience.
And a 20-minute nap.
I don't think it was my fault. It could be my fault. I will admit that.
Sure.
So no score.
I don't think anybody's gonna blame you if you were tired because of your kids.
I mean, I'm just trying to be reasonable. I definitely fell asleep at a point where I think I probably should have been paying attention. Like it should have been, hey, no, come on. We about to get there. Pay attention. Come on, stay on the edge of your seat.
So did you wake up right before the end?
I woke up at a part where, in the third act, right at the end of the movie, where I thought, okay, this is his time. This is where everybody's going to get teary-eyed, and this is going to be his fateful goodbye. And it was stolen from him, in my opinion. It was ripped right out of him, ripped right from him. And we were given something different. So without getting into specifics, I gave that one spoiler about mud. So skip ahead about 45 seconds when you get to that one. Okay, here we go. Rolling Stone. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Rolling Stone's been doing some work.
Oh, yeah.
For about 3 months, apparently, they've been doing work.
Who would have thought?
Work on what? Or who, I should say?
Not music.
One actor in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Creed 3, amongst various other movies this year or in the past 2 years. Yeah. Lovecraft Country, Atticus. Rolling Stones did an article, a research piece for the last 3 months. Keep that number in mind, right? 3 months of time of research that we've done on this. On Jonathan Majors and his abusive behavior dating back all the way to Yale, right? His days in college. Okay. So we talked to 40 people. Damn, that's a lot of people. remember the numbers now, 3 months, 40 people, about Jonathan Majors' interactions with them in school and working environments and relationships. And we've gotten these patterns of behavior of both, you know, emotional abuse and sometimes physical abuse. Remember the sometimes, because it's important. When we get down all the way through the article, which I didn't have an opportunity to read all myself because I believe it was behind the paywall.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some more examples of great investigative journalism. We need to bring the truth to the people. You need to know about this. Pay me $19.99 to see it. Always a calling card of great journalism.
Or $1 for a certain number of articles.
Yeah. So they talked to the 40 people, none of which want to have their name attached to it. They want to have full anonymity, right? All 40 of them. Not a single person wants their name attached to it. We've gotten 2 ex-relationships from Jonathan Majors, one of which alleges some sort of emotional abuse, but again, not a first-hand account. It is a second-hand account of what they heard happen with them, and they did not go into detail as to what was the emotional abuse. The second one is an alleged physical abuse, but again, not a first-hand account. It's coming from a second-hand account, so hearsay, from a person who doesn't want their identity shown.
Mm-hmm.
End of article.
So basically, we made all of this shit up.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they made up or what they didn't.
Trust me, bro.
But what I do know is that they did 3 months worth of research. They talked to 40 people. None of them gave their name. And the 2 most prominent stories in there about his former relationships are hearsay accounts about emotional abuse and allegedly physical abuse. And neither one of those accounts came from the actual women.
Source, trust me, bro.
Now, they were very particular about letting us know that they reached out to people and on Jonathan Majors' behalf. And, you know, the lawyer, his legal team, reached back out to them with some positive effects. 2 of the people didn't say that they actually gave permission for those statements to be given. They were very particular about that. What they weren't particular about telling you is that they talked to all these people. They compiled all this evidence. They gave you a title that says Jonathan Majors' abuse history goes back a decade. But they left out the fact that none of these people are actually putting their name on it. They gave all this information anonymously. And the interactions and the events that they are talking about, they are not claiming to have firsthand knowledge of. They did not witness themselves. They are telling you things that they heard. That's what 3 months worth of research gets you at Rolling Stone.
Yikes.
Not to mention, they posted this article at 10:30 p.m. on a Thursday. So
What?
3 months worth of investigative resources. That's your reporters. Any money that they need to spend to travel to investigate these things, pay for certain documents and things of that nature to kind of try to track down stories and make them make sense versus what you've gotten from the actual witnesses, right? Money, real money being spent. And to recoup that, you're going to post the video when absolutely no one's going to read it. It's odd. That's weird. Now, the damage to Jonathan Majors would presumably already be done. But in terms of recouping the funds that we spent on the 3 months of research we did, wouldn't you want to release that at like 8 a.m. on Friday?
Prime time.
Lead right into the weekend news cycle, so that's all people are talking about? But you would probably want something like evidence if you're going to do that, right? If you're going to put Rolling Stone's name on a smear against Jonathan Majors, you would probably want to have some evidence to go along with it. And since you don't have any evidence and all you have is hearsay, now let's just let this thing slide out at 10 o'clock when the teenagers are scrolling.
Yeah, bro, they got the source already taken care of, bro. Trust me, bro.
So, but that's not why Rolling Stone is getting the nail. Because No, that is why Rolling Stones get nailed. Never mind. I won't say that second part. I'll leave that alone. I'll let them handle that.
Make sure you see his second part on our Patreon.
We don't have one of those.
Oh, we don't have a Patreon.
Is it worth mentioning that the Rolling Stones, the namesake of this magazine, have a checkered past with abuse and assault and things of that nature?
Yeah, Mick Jagger and the only other guy that I know from Rolling Stones.
Is it worth mentioning that we're doing op-eds with little to no evidence on, black celebrities, and our actual namesake were terrors when they were out there, right?
Did they have a Elvis or Jerry Lee Lewis magazine?
I don't know. Anyways, here we go. The Supreme Court is getting my next L here for a lot of recent decisions. I kind of I think we all knew it was going to go this way with the last two appointments to the Supreme Court with, Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh. Right? And I mean, you still already had Clarence Thomas on the bench. You still had Roberts on the bench. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg was kind of getting up there, right? So I think we already saw the writing on the wall, with whose presidency we were currently in the middle of, and already him walking into having to appoint a new justice in his first 7 days. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that.
So now we've got a 6-3 court, and it is turned into even more so than what it has been traditionally, a completely hyper-partisan endeavor. There is no more objectivity left in that branch of the government, it's scary, but it just creates a stronger argument that the Clarence Thomas story with him and his wife and their illegal stock trading essentially is what it was.
Yeah.
They're creating stronger arguments for term limits for justices and it not just being lifetime appointments. They are literally stoking the flames for that to be an eventuality. Now, we may be 3, 4, maybe even 5 election cycles from that being a thing. I do not think that Kavanaugh and Coney Barrett will see them leave the Supreme Court justice bench by death, which is how every other Supreme Court justice has left the bench, I believe, since the Supreme Court was established. I do not think that will be something that maintains, because it has become so blatantly partisan that I don't think it can be denied at this point. Like, it was abortion, and then now we've moved on to affirmative action.
Businesses discriminating.
Against LG, and that is in complete counteraction to Biden's LGBTQ protection thing that he just signed, the bill he signed.
Yeah. About
LGBTQ protections in the workplace, literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're literally seeing them write back the liberties that oppressed groups have been accustomed to. Maybe not rights, but at the very least, things that we've become accustomed to.
So let's talk about the affirmative action one, right? So this one is actually funny to me because they were the group that kind of spearheaded this whole campaign. It was a group of, I believe, Asian students who had a organization who petitioned to try and do away with affirmative action. Mm-hmm. Basically stating that they were being discriminated against because of affirmative action. Oh, man. And it's like, it's kind of the same type of ideology that makes people think that welfare only exists for black people. Mm-hmm. Or Section 8 or food stamps. That type of stuff only
Any
exists
kind of government
for black
assistance
people.
For black people.
Affirmative action is for black people. Okay. So let's first talk about why affirmative action is a thing. It's not there because black people need to get handouts to catch up. They need help. So let's give it to the lowly blacks. right? Let's hire someone just because they're black. There was a period of time, a long period of time, since the establishment of higher education in this country, where specifically black folks were left out, where specifically women were left out, specifically other minorities, Native Americans, even you, right? Even you, group who thinks they're being discriminated against because of affirmative action, you were part of that as well. It was specifically tailored for Anglo-Saxon white males, giving them not only a leg up in education and the ever-evolving literacy around education and mathematics and science and literature and all of that, right? Not only giving them a socioeconomic leg up in that, but by which allowing them to continue to grow their actual wealth because they now have a degree, which is something that less than 10% of the country had when higher education was being established. It literally puts you into a social class that will put you above 90% of human beings on the planet. So that pathway was specifically shut down for anyone who wasn't white male. And if you somehow made it through those barriers, you did so at your own risk, because the institutions literally made it so that you, because of your skin color or background or gender, could not come here. Now, once we got it established that you were no longer able to discriminate in that way, there were certain corrections that were made to try and adjust the fact that y'all over there were able to benefit from that head start. And now we're going to try to allow the rest of the people to catch up. Now, once again, I continue to say people, not specifically black people. Not specifically blacks. Blacks may have been the most perpetrated against group in that instance, but it is not only for black people, meaning affirmative action. You want to know who actually benefits the most from affirmative action? Do you want to know?
White women.
Black men aren't even number 2. Or 3 for that matter. I don't believe so. I don't believe.
Yeah, you have to give me the numbers too. But it's definitely white women second.
Yeah, I don't think they're in the top 3. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But who benefits most from affirmative action? White women. Who benefits the most from food stamps or housing assistance? Single white mothers. There are twice as many, 3 times, 5 times as many single white mothers in this country benefiting from welfare than there are the black ghetto welfare queens that you have in your mind when you think about public services. You want to know why I'm very iffy about the reparations conversation right now? Is because how they decide to divvy out what they owe. See, if it's to a religious community to which we have no real historical connection, hell, our you know, our kind of governmental religious entanglement that we have is with a different denomination of that religion. And yet we have reparations set up for that religious community to send them back thousands of miles across the sea to a motherland they never possessed, to assist them in gentrifying an entire country to the point of kicking out the current inhabitants of said land completely off with impunity. And the U.S. assists in this by giving them free pilgrimages to that land year in, year out, without question. That is what you call reparations. What do they do for black folks? They give you governmental programs that they are able to label as handouts. And what does that end up do? It makes sure that you don't have to actually finish the job. You let the people do it for you. You frame it as a handout. You give it to somebody. Let them determine who they think is benefiting the most. And you kind of assist them with that in the language and how you present it. And so they will do the work for you in tearing it down. It'll be so pervasive that you will have a literal statistical minority in American higher education arguing against affirmative action, which is a balancing out of the statistical inequities in college admissions. You will have a statistical minority arguing against their own admissions. Because there were Asians fighting against affirmative action, that the white folks who are racist and won't let you into their universities because you're Asian won't do it anymore. Live golf in the PGA Tour. Yo. Okay. I don't watch golf. Fair warning.
No way.
Fair warning. I do not watch golf. I know enough about the situation to kind of follow what was going on, right? I know Charles Barkley signed a really big contract to commentate on Live Golf. They were trying to poach, a lot of big name golfers in the PGA Tour, Tiger Woods. They actually did get Phil Mickelson. And all the while this is going on, official word from the PGA Tour is, no, this is a golf league that's ran by a dictatorial government, by human rights violators. Like, we can't do this. We can't allow them to kind of wash their reputation with sports. We don't want to have any type of association with them. We're going to have Rory McIlroy go out there and denounce them and talk about them. We're really going to use the mouthpieces of our league to try to distance ourselves from Live Golf and make sure that they can't break into this market. Live Golf and the PGA Tour are going to merge.
Mm-hmm. And I think the head of Live gets a chair position with the PGA. Something like that. He gets a lot of power within the PGA.
Before we were talking about chopping up journalists and how you couldn't possibly work with the Saudi government in any way, shape, or form, even if it was vicariously through this golf league. And you're merging your tour with them? You're merging your league with them? So I guess, similar to what James Mangold did, I guess I'm just supposed to forget. I'm supposed to forget that Rory McIlroy ever said the things he said about the Saudi Golf League. I guess I'm supposed to forget those 9/11 victims that you like to march out and tout all the time. Right, PGA Tour? I'm sure your relationship is great with them now that you're going to be actually part Saudi government in your league, because that mixes well with, 9/11 victims. This is the most brazen, greedy money grab I think I've ever seen in sports. I haven't been around that long, but just talking about lived experience, this is probably the most brazen, greedy money grab I've seen in sports, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. On to my last L, Mr. Sneako. I don't understand how dude keeps ending up on YouTube. Aren't you banned? So YouTube, explain this to me. Does banned mean I just can't have my own channel, but I can pop up on all of these other channels that have millions of followers and do the same thing?
Supposedly.
Is that all it means?
Maybe they also demonetize the videos right away.
Bullshit. They ain't demonetizing Adam 22. If they did, he'd be telling us about it.
Well, they didn't. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
He'd tell us about it.
Yeah,
they damn sure ain't demonetizing Fresh and Fit, because they would tell us about it.
Well, I guess what I was thinking is that I was thinking like people posting clips of him.
They didn't demonetize Charlie when he came on there and had a discussion with him, so they're not demonetized. So again, banned means you can't drive the boat, but you can ride it.
At that point, what's stopping him from making a burner account?
Fam, I could make a YouTube account under a different name, have somebody's face on it as a figurehead, and just show up and make videos on it, right? Because that's your bar. That is the inconsistent parameters that are the YouTube guidelines.
As long as I don't add Sneako's name anywhere on it.
Anyways, Sneako was on with Adam 22, and he was talking about black culture being degeneracy. And because I'm not going to take you through the specifics of what he said. If you really want to hear it, you can go back and listen to it.
It was mindless drivel anyway.
You know what it was? It was, and I kind of picked up on it the more I listened to it. He was telling us his experiences and why he's not accepted amongst black folks. And that's probably why he goes on streams and let people call him, and lets Arab guys call him the N-word 30 times over and over again.
Well, he's also getting paid off of that shit.
Well,
probably handsomely.
Whatever.
But his
I don't know.
sale.
I don't know too many streamers that will sit there and let you call them a hard ER for money.
No, sure, but his soul's for sale. So,
I mean, but he's also the guy who sat there and watched a dude clap his wife while he was laying in the bed with, or his girlfriend while he was laying in the bed with him. So, self-respect isn't really a big thing for Sneako. And you know what? I literally just did it right now. I was getting ready to say he was talking so bad about black people, I forgot he was black. I did it right just now. I forgot he was black. Forgot he was black.
Is he black and Asian?
Yeah. Yep. Or at least part black. All right. He will allow people to degrade him racially. He will even go on and degrade part of his own makeup but he's describing his own experience, right? Like, oh, when you talk proper, they call you, say you're white. Like, there's so many black people peddling anti-black sentiments, on the internet because of that. Mm-hmm. Because a group of kids asked you why you was talking white because you spoke with proper diction. Right? Or with adequate diction or standard diction. I really want to get off of that proper shit. We should do a video about correctness and politeness. It's a farce. But anyways, I think dude used to get bullied about being black and Asian and having kind of a quirky personality. So now he hates black people.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's all it is. You're not comfortable around that part of you. You're not comfortable with that part of you in general. They've never, or the people you know or interacted with have accepted you. So that's how you've come to be who you are.
I think that's a commonplace thing for those who are biracial. They got to figure out a side of, this is a conversation you and, I ain't going to go there. Just know I'm going to make a separate podcast for this guy and another YouTuber that we've been working with
I
recently.
will say Sneako is a great example for Slevin's feelings. He's a great example.
Him and Slevin are going to do a separate podcast.
I get. Let me not say that I understand because I'm not biracial, so I don't understand. But I can certainly empathize with the duality of your personality or your makeup and how complicated that can be. And then in the midst of that, some people that you would want to connect to shun you for the things that are different. Mm-hmm. I can empathize with that. What I can't empathize is you then rationalizing that is what all black culture is. This man started talking about black culture and brought up Lil Durk. Fam, go. Because again, that's what you think blackness is. That is so sad that you have black in you. And the best thing you can come up with when you talking about black culture is Lil Durk. Fam, you couldn't even find another rapper.
Don't you have a whole ass father or mother that's
black? Don't you have a dad? Like, who's black on his side? Is it his mom or his dad?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. So you have a whole ass parent that's black.
But black culture is Lil Durk to you. Like, it's really heartbreaking because you're part black, but the only thing black that you know to hang on to is degeneracy. I think you speak like that because you don't have anything else positively to connect to. You are so far away from what little blackness you actually have in you that this is the only thing that you can do to feel black.
That's self-hatred.
It's the only thing you can do to actually connect to your blackness is to talk about the most negative aspects of your culture as if that is all it is.
That is self-hatred.
I'm sad for you, bro. I'm sad for you. I'm sitting up here watching you letting men have sex with your girlfriend and laying in bed while they do it. You're letting a obvious hypocrite in a shell of what is supposed to be a man say the hard ER right in your face, even call you it a couple times. He called you the hard ER and a how do I describe it without actually saying it? Asian slur. An Asian slur. All in the same stream. While wearing a white hood and trying to make a caricature of a Klansman. But that's funny to you. And you sit up there and you allow it on your platform. I'm sad for you, dog.
It's literal self-hatred, and his soul is for sale.
Sad for you, boy.
To whatever donator is willing to pay as much to say the N-word to him.
Actually, that was my last take, because my toss-up was the fresh and fit business model. We already talked about
having
that
a whole ass economy over there, fresh and fit.
They do, and it's not surprising because it just makes so much sense. I just oddly expected more, maybe, at least from the chatters. You expect them to be going there with the hopes that, you know, something will improve about their lives by watching this show. But then you think, like, after everything these dudes have been through, that if that's what you were going for, it would be a rebuke. But since there's not a rebuke, I think that there was a connection made in all of that. I think when they saw that Fresh and Fit was out here and trying to embarrass them in some of them videos for paying to get women or simping for women or going above and beyond to please women, right? They saw them talking like that, saw them get dragged out in the public for doing that very same thing, quite literally trying to leverage their platform for sex, going on pay-for-sex sites, which is all a sugar baby site really is. Or favors for sex. However you want to form it.
Sure.
One of you is the sugar, the other one is the baby.
Yeah. Yep.
They saw that and was like, damn, they're more like me than I thought. They go through the same thing. I do that shit all the time. I talk shit about simping on women and then subscribe to OnlyFans. I do that. They're just like me. I try to coerce women into having sex with me. They're just like me.
If you're paying women for not even sex, prawn, you are not the alpha male or high value man that you think you are.
But also, if you're looking for women who want to be spoiled for dates or other sexual favors beyond just a date, you are doing the same thing. It is like real life tangible OnlyFans.
And the only real thing that I can give you over them is that at least you're getting a box. At least, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, because I don't think a sugar baby defines sex necessarily. Most of the time they just go shopping and they get simped on the way that they tell y'all not to simp on women.
Did the girl that Fresh was with ever say that she didn't have sex with him?
I don't know, but they said that they were dating, so I think it was implied that they were sleeping with each other.
I don't know. I feel like I remember something along
once they
those
found out that she was a sugar baby. Oh, that's my girlfriend now. But wait, but hold on. You met her on a site where she was looking for men to give her things for dates. So what? That is our dubs and L's. Give us your dubs and L's in the comments below. Also comment on ours. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back next week on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. for another Dubs and L's segment.
Make sure that you check out our previous Dubs and L's. Make sure you subscribe because we like to do this every Wednesday at 10 o'clock.